The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Hek'ma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
You heard it. We got lineup changes here.
Yes.
Lineup changes here on the Players Lounge. So when Tostitos sponsored this, apparently they said they needed Hek'ma Harrison on the show.
That's the only way we got it.
That's right.
That's it.
So
They got the player with the players.
so
There it is. There it is.
So they want you on the show.
Yeah.
Some Tostitos with you, bro.
Nah, I ain't bringing no Tostitos. Come on, man. Don't plug me in that. I didn't have nothing to do with the Tostitos. But I would have bought them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how we rocking. We hazing right off the back, huh, Newey? We
From the
hazing.
jump. From the jump.
That would be good.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
He went from coffee to Tostitos.
Right on, man.
Coffee to chips.
But do me a
There it
favor,
is.
Chris. Do me a favor for the people that's out there, Chris. Would you please get a shot of Newey? Get a shot, camera shot of right on Newey.
Okay, hold on.
Right there.
Hold on, no, that's you.
That's
there.
me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
That's me. That's Newey.
Newey.
Now come back to me.
Okay, hold on a second.
Come on,
Okay,
real
I
quick.
see where we're going here.
Come on, man, back to me.
Okay.
Now back to Newey. Now back to me. Hey, man, that's Newey Scruggs.
Wait, let me get the glass.
Yeah, get your glasses on, man.
Hold on. You guys brothers?
Hey, man, listen, we obviously from the same tribe, so I'm just saying.
somewhere-
But y'all gonna have to separate us.
Somewhere along the way.
Stop.
My folks from Alabama, so somewhere along the way, when they split the families up,
Something with a ride.
something away. I'm sure we do what it was at 23andMe.
Yeah.
We got some drops in there somewhere.
I see it. I
If you
see
need a
it.
kidney, I got you, dog.
Man.
Hey, what I'm thinking is when Danny comes back, he's going to need to get a haircut.
I know we got three bald brothers out here, man. On the same
Go on with that, Chris.
show, man.
Go on with that, Chris. Now, you need to be in here, too.
Bald and beautiful,
Nope.
baby. Bald and beautiful.
So we got a new addition now. Hek'ma Harrison is going to
Yes.
join the
Yes,
Players Lounge
indeedy.
throughout this season to go along with Barry Church, the Toledo Rocket.
UNT, right?
Kansas State and, yeah.
Kansas State and UNT.
Yeah, I was a two-school
Very on.
kid.
There we go. There we
Nothing wrong
go.
with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Then, of course, Danny McCray is he's out again.
Who knows when? I mean, who knows? Who knows?
I just saw Danny McCray post some
Go Tigers.
photos in
Ibiza.
some bikini type briefs,
Matching
sushi.
the wife too.
You know,
I
just saw
can't wait
him.
to. I can't wait to bring that up tomorrow. They got matching swimsuits.
Oh, do they?
Oh, you ain't see the matching? I mean, it was.
I didn't see that.
I can't wait. I just say that. I can't wait till tomorrow.
Okay. So
He had matching suits, bathing
Yes,
suits.
Yes, they had matching bathing suits.
you and the
On the
lovely
beach.
Mrs. Harrison do that.
Nah, we don't do none of that.
Yeah, you know.
Hey,
You buy your suit, I'll buy mine.
Yeah, I'm good.
it's what it is. It's what it is. It's
Teach
what
his
it
own,
is.
I guess.
This is a kid's children.
We'll haze him tomorrow. We'll haze him tomorrow.
Oh, he need to get it.
It
Mr.
is-
Perfect Attendance. Man
Sweet.
ain't been in the studio in who knows how long, man.
Hey, saving you money.
Yeah.
By the way, we make many bets on this show,
Uh-huh.
so just be prepared. Okay.
Oh, I've heard of the generosity
Yes.
on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah,
make
it
bets.
happens.
From across the.
It happens from now and again.
So-
You know,
Heckma has
you
a
know.
Christmas tree from Isaiah.
I do.
Just remember.
I do, man. Hey, you know I collect.
Okay. So Thursday, make sure you got your picks, predictions.
Gotcha.
Thursday. We do
Oh, yeah, I'm
predictions
on there.
Thursday.
I'm on
So
there.
for the season and the game, it is week 1. Cowboys hosting Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game will be on NBC's Sunday Night Football. I asked guys in the locker room yesterday, how much does Sunday night still mean? Is it to the players? Last game, national TV. Sunday Night Football is the number 1 television show in America, and I think it's
Rightfully
been there
so.
for 9 years in a row. Like the American Idol, nothing is topping Sunday Night Football. And a lot of the guys said, yeah, still matters.
It does. In my opinion, I think it's the top of the top when you talk about playing football under all the lights. You know you're the only thing on TV. You know, families at home are sitting back there watching and waiting to see what you can do on the football field. Then you got those announcements that come on. You know how they got the little picture at the bottom of the screen. I'm Barry Church, University of Toledo. Like, they got that going on. So you get the face, because not all the time, people see the face under the helmet. Sometimes it's just, that's just number 42 right there. Yeah. But you get the face with the number. And to me, it's one of the best games you can play in, especially if you're starting out there. If you're starting out there banging heads and you have one of your best games, you'll hear about it all over social media. Okay. So, to me, it's still the marquee game to go in. I know they got the primetime Monday night. I know they got Thursday on Amazon and all that good stuff. But Sunday Night Football, everybody's watching that. Ain't nobody getting ready to do all this other stuff. They watching Sunday Night Football. To me, it's still the marquee matchup.
Man, I'm glad you said that, because Monday used to be the game. Everybody wanted to be a part of Monday night. But, man, more football is always great. So Amazon is coming, too. We got 17-game season now. So, it's just even better, man. And if they could prolong this, get another bye week in there, and it extends all the way through the end of February, I'm all the way with that, man. The more the merrier.
No doubt.
So, Tom Brady, here he is coming through one more time.
Uncle Tom. Huh?
Undefeated against the Cowboys. How much do guys take last year's experience? Because it was Thursday night. Okay, so last year, Tampa Bay was the defending Super Bowl champion. It was a Thursday night game to open the season down there in Florida. It was jamming that day. I went for that one. So you get them one more time. As players, do you flush out what happened last year? Or is it as simply, hey, man, I want to remember that we were right there at the end, shot ourselves in the foot with a couple holding calls. Greg the leg missed a field goal. He should have made an extra point.
Hook him left.
Yeah. Does it stay in your mind, or do you just say, all right, forget last year, new season?
Well, I think for the Cowboys, they got to feel like this is an opportunity to get some get back. Yeah. Last year was all about them lifting the banner. And it was like they were offering us up last year, right? Going in, there was a no-win situation, and Tom had to literally go in his bag to pull that victory out. And we were dealing with a young, unknown defense. And so this year, I think the tables have turned for the defense, but I think obviously there are some offensive things that we're going to get into. But this defense has got to be licking their chops, especially with them, their offensive line kind of looking eerily similar to what we have on our offensive line. A lot of people not talking about that either, BC.
That's true.
But at the same time, I think for Micah, for Tank, guys like that, man, they've got to be looking forward to this opportunity that they're going to get against Tom Brady, because I'm expecting this to be the last ride for Tom.
Stop doing that.
I'm expecting that.
Stop doing that.
He can't. If he comes back again, it's like, man, he would have to go out. You talk about be like Mike. I think he's already surpassed GOAT status. So at this point, what else is there for this man?
We said that last year.
Well, no, look.
He said it last year. I'm done. 40 days. I'll take him in 40 days.
He came back for a reason.
40 days.
He came back for a reason.
And look, like I said, our defense has got to be licking their chops, because they missed a major opportunity last year when they raised the banner in Tampa.
And you're 100% right. They got to be licking their chops, because like you pointed out right there, Tampa Bay's offensive line, they're suspect as well. I know we got our questions on our side of the ball, but they lost, what was it, Alan Marpet? He retired. Jensen with the injury. And then I think
Wirfs is hurt.
Yeah, Wirfs is hurt. Was it the backup center that got hurt as well?
Yeah.
He suffered something, but Jenna Lane, who covers the Bucs, said he's going to be okay.
He's going to be all right?
Really?
Because I tweeted like, hey, he's hurt. She's like, calm down.
So they got to be licking their chops. You talking about Tank. You talking about Parsons. Basham. Those guys, they've got to be licking their chops, because they took the ball away 4 times from Tampa and Tom Brady last year. So they got to feel like, hey, we can repeat that same type of intensity, that same type of just veracity towards the football. They can get it from them again. And if we can just find some way, somehow. We've both been preaching on this show for a long time. If they could find some way to at least make it somewhat balanced between the run and the pass. I'm not saying you got 100% lean on the run, but give it some type of balance offensively. I think they got a shot in this game. And the defense, they got to be licking their chops, because they got after Tom last year when the pressure is concerned. They got to be able to do the same thing this year.
Hainsey is who you're talking about, the center.
Okay. Yes. If you listen to Jerry Jones this morning on 105.3 The Fan, he told Sean and RJ they're going to run. It's about running.
We heard that so many times last year too.
But if the man is saying it,
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I just think that, okay, we'll run the ball a little bit early, but if it comes down to, hey, we down a touchdown, I feel like they abandon it.
True.
When there's no reason.
Look, that's
to
true.
abandon.
I mean, there's no lie. There's no lie. I mean, you're what you're saying is facts. As Parcells used to say, all I can do is go by what I see.
Yeah.
So what we've seen from Kellen Moore is if it's down 7 to 10 points. Last year in Tampa, I mean, look. Let's also be fair. Last year, both teams decided they weren't trying to go run the football in that game.
Yeah.
Everybody was slinging in that game.
It was the left tackle basically out there.
I'm worried. Okay, I'm just tell you right now. I am worried about this football game because Hek'ma, you're talking about 5 guys going out here to play a game, and they've never played together against one of the better defensive play callers in the National Football League.
True.
Who's got a ring in Todd Bowles.
He's going to dial it up. He's going to.
And the only way that you face something like that is to run directly at it. And you don't trust Kellen because history has told you that when he's pushed against the wall, he will go on an all-out aerial assault. I think last year he was tempted to do that because of all of the weapons that you have. It's like, when you have a lot of money, you BC, you used to this. But when it's good, you go out to eat every night. But when it ain't good, you pull that spam out. You go to what you know. You go to your go-to meal right now.
You got that ramen. Baby.
You got that ramen.
Without a doubt.
That's what I'm saying. You got to go.
Steak last week. Let's chop that thing.
Yeah. You don't waste things like you do. So you see what I'm saying? And so I think the cupboard is a little bare, and you got to stick to what you know. This offensive line, how do you get that continuity? How do you get the synergy? You get these guys going in one direction together, and that's running the ball. You are almost forced to rely on your running game. And that's where Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, who people have been pounding the table and begging to see him do more, this is an opportunity to get that part of their ball game going. And for your rookie left tackle, you don't want to sit him out on the island.
You don't.
So what do you want to do? You want to get him going down the field.
So stay right there, Hek'ma. How do they use Tony Pollard? If you're Kellen Moore in this game, where you're lining him up, how are you getting him involved in this offense? Is he on the field the same time as Zeke Elliott? What are you doing?
Hell yeah. I'm making sure that I don't take him off because I want to confuse the heck out of that defense. Todd Bowles is a master of that. And so getting him out in the slot, TP, out in the slot, I think that's going to change some of the dynamic of this offense because right now everybody's got to be thinking, what are the Cowboys playing at the wide receiver position? But nobody's accounting for what Tony Pollard can do out of the backfield and also as a slot receiver. Remember, at Memphis, that's what he was. He was a receiver. But that's got to be the game plan. But also, you look at it like this, and I heard the interview from Kellen Moore yesterday saying that, we don't want to go with him primarily as a wide receiver and then go with him as a back at the running back position. I think that was a little gamesmanship on his part as well. Because who's a guy that's been in the league as long as Tony Pollard has, he's a two-headed monster. He's multifaceted. He can do that.
And we saw what Todd, but we know what he loves to do. He loves to blitz. He loves to come after you guys. So if you get Tony Pollard in the backfield, motion him out, line him up against one of those linebackers, that's a mismatch nightmare right there. It's just got to be different ways that you can use Tony Pollard besides just using him as a stationary back or a stationary wide receiver. Move him around. Get some mismatch nightmares.
Okay, so I ask you both here. More catches or rushes for Tony Pollard against Tampa? Heck?
I'm going to say rushes.
And I'm going to go catches. I think they're going to use him out of the backfield a little bit. Whether it's, last year we saw it a lot. Bubble screens here, bubble this, bubble that. I think they're going to get the ball out of Dak's hands quick,
some wheel routes,
and let Tony Pollard do some damage against these linebackers. We'll see though.
I think it's going to be him catching the ball. I mean, right now, in my mind, not knowing who's going to be the reliable number 2 receiver over there, wide receiver, I'm thinking after CeeDee Lamb. And Todd Bowles he's going to double it. You got
to. You got to see what these other receivers can do. Can they consistently beat man-to-man coverage? Can that happen?
So now you're looking at Schultz, you're looking at Pollard, and Schultz can make a catch, get you 7-8 yards. Pollard can make a catch, he can possibly get you
could be a home run
12, 13, 14. He can make the bigger plays. You're going to need splash plays in this game. And that's why I look at Tony Pollard. Here's a guy that could potentially give you some splash plays. We talk about plays for 10-plus yards.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite of that because I think it's a nightmarish situation if you have Dak throwing the ball 40 times.
Oh, I'm not trying to get it 40 times. No, and so,
that's what I mean.
Okay, now, and this is just my mind. I'm thinking, quick passes to Pollard and let him go ahead and get his thing going. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, almost kind of like that run. Like, hey, we just getting you the ball real quick.
Right.
So no, I don't.
Are we patient enough to be able to do that, though?
You're going to have to be.
Are we patient enough to be like, let's dink and dunk all the way down the field? We know how this offense gets. Man, I'm bored with this. Let me take a shot.
But, okay, if I'm throwing a quick pass or I'm hitting Tony Pollard on a little wheel route out here and letting him go do his thing, that's where I'm hoping that the yards after the catch, that's what I'm hoping Tony Pollard.
Because those are extended running plays when you do that. No, absolutely. I see what you mean.
That is exactly. Yeah, yes, heck, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's technically, that's what I'm saying. You're going to receive more. Technically, that's it. I mean, it's like when New England had Marshall Faulk catching all those little passes, and then the year they won the Super Bowl, J.R. Redmond went down the field on that last drive. They were just throwing them little dinks right there to him, and then boom, they were just using their speed and yards after the catch to get that ball down the field. So that's what I'm thinking of Tony Pollard and that type of usage here. Still, you can get in the ball in the backfield, but I'm also thinking of, man, if I've got Zeke back there and I got him there, maybe that's that opportunity. But you're going to have to do something to disrupt Todd Bowles from just saying,
sick him.
Right.
And you gotta help, like to Hek'ma's point, you gotta help out your left tackle. If it is Tyron Smith out there and he's young, and let him get his confidence up. Let him use his aggressiveness, his power out there on the defensive side of the football, and get out of his stance. You don't want to be sitting there catching all day and passing off defensive tackle stunts all day. It's gonna cause problems.
Let's hit our first break.
Okay.
Let's come back. We didn't dive into Jason Peters, who was signed to the practice squad. When do we think he'll play? And look, Tyler Smith's going to be left tackle, okay?
Here we go.
Jerry came out and said it today. So Mike McCarthy can keep telling us he doesn't know. Tyler Smith yesterday in the locker room, he didn't want to tell us. Jerry told us. So we know how that thing works around here. Jerry told us. Let's take a break. Back here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down, based on GWS 1 score September 2019.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Head to AT&T Stadium this Saturday, September 10th, to experience Rally Day presented by SeatGeek. Get ready to cheer on your Dallas Cowboys with tours of AT&T Stadium, ticket giveaways, games, inflatables, and more. Visit attstadium.com/rallydays for tickets and more information. By the way, if you are going to the game on Sunday, get there early.
Yeah.
Glad I don't got to do pregame there.
I mean, seriously, man, I cannot stress that enough to people. Go, especially the first game, because the first game, people are going to be out there in mass. It's 7 o'clock. Please be on the road before 4.
I'm going to be battling work traffic, all that.
It's just the first game. I'm just telling you right now, it is what it is.
Got the GOAT coming into town.
I tell people all the time, 3 hours beforehand for a football game, and for the first one or certain big games, maybe do 3.5. Just so you are there, you got your spot, you in there. I mean, just do it like that, man. It's just
I can't wait, man.
It's nothing worse than you sitting out there trying to get in, trying to get down Randall Mill.
And Am I gonna make it in time?
Then if you don't know which lot you need to be, bro, don't miss your lot turn.
As long as you ain't in Walmart lot, don't go up in there. All right, don't go up in there.
You thinking I need to turn down Randall Mill, and you don't need to be around. I mean, it can be a long wait to get back around. So
me and my family been doing this for a long time, man. We know our cuts in Arlington now. You got to know Ag Town. You got to know which way to go, which way not to go. You can see, hey man, you pull right on in. I know how to get to my lot, get to my seat.
Perfect.
Hey, see, I got it down. Now just live
down to a size
I used to Arlington 12. Yeah, I know where to go, how to get. Yeah, I know.
But
I
if you
got my back way.
If you don't,
what I'm
you're
doing
in trouble.
I don't even get on the freeway. I don't even get on the freeway.
All back roads.
All the back roads, man. I know exactly how to get there. But I just tell people all the time, the best thing you can do when you're trying to go to these football, get there early. Get there early. Otherwise, you're going. And now, I mean, I don't know if you've seen as you start watching the people that don't want to pay to park on site. Well, they are footing it.
They get walking.
They getting a workout before the game, boy.
Closing all the circles on the Apple Watch.
I've seen folks sweating out there like, ooh, it's a long walk. Long walk.
And the tow truck drivers make a lot of money on game day too. So don't leave your whip. Don't do it.
Right. Don't park nowhere thinking you're good.
Get it.
Oh, they said I could park here. Sure,
That'd be the worst.
Exactly. Then they call and got you told, so they get 3 more cars in there. They kept on making more money.
Just keep pushing Sam up. Hey?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. He is Barry Church, the Toledo Rocket. Got Hek'ma Harrison of K-State and North Texas. I'm merely Newey Scruggs. Danny McCray is off today. So Jason Peters met with the media on Monday. I was there for that here at the Star. He's 40. They need to ramp him up. He's not ready to go.
He ain't ready.
He's not ready. He will not be there Sunday night. Do not look for number 71. No. 71's on the practice squad. Okay? They signed him to the practice squad. He is not playing on Sunday. And I said, so you said it's going to take a couple of weeks. So after Cincinnati?
New York, maybe? We going to see.
Mike McCarthy wasn't definitive. I'd heard October.
Halloween.
So
they on a pup list, huh?
So they don't know where he is, and that's the biggest thing. We don't know where, so we have to ramp him up. Now, I want to make sure I'm fair, because I heard Mike Lombardi on his podcast, GM Shuffle, say, "Oh, he's going to start." No, he don't. You don't know the offense. You can't be signing on Monday to the practice squad and be running up here on Sunday. No, that's a disservice to the team. So no, he's not starting this football game. He's got to find what shape is he in. Peters talked about, hey, I'm not in football shape. He's 40, so I've long since I've blown past 40. So I'm no athlete, but I know, man, it's easy to the gym workouts. It's easy to quit it. When you get in your 40s, it's easy. I mean, I would do 35. I would do, that's a good 20. 20 felt good.
Yeah.
That treadmill speed go down a little bit.
And that soreness hit different too.
Right. Maybe I won't run this whole. I would go, 3 instead of running at 4. Let's take it down to 3.5.
3.5, and that can get you nice and warm, huh?
I mean, he's a 40-year-old man. So they're going to ramp him up. We don't know how many weeks that's going to take. So at this point in time, I would tell Cowboy fan, not playing Sunday night against the Bucs. I'm not looking for him to play against the Bengals. So he's got to get into shape, one. Number two, he's got to get to know the offense.
Yeah. Even, all right, let's just say all that. He gets in shape, gets a pretty good foot of the offense. Is he automatically penciled in as a starter when he comes back?
Depends.
Thank you. Okay. That is the beautiful word I have learned in graduate school.
Depends.
Okay.
Yeah, and Okay. I think, Nua, you put it all the way out there with the age. And I made a joke about Leonardo DiCaprio and his dating standards, being 25. That's how I like my left tackles, too.
You ain't lying.
25, young and ready to go. I think, you cannot be 40 and miss some steps. Not a step, but some steps. But I give him the benefit. And, I'm one of those people, man, I've gone away from the, future Hall of Fame talk, because Darren Woodson, okay, if you're listening, Darren Woodson is being disrespected. But anyway, I'm just saying, this guy, the talk about him being a role model, a mentor to Tyler Smith, I think that's overblown as well. And I know that's something that he wants to do. But how many coaches do we have on payroll right now? How many guys can be there for Tyler? Because I believe, and Nick Eatman wrote an article on DallasCowboys.com about having Tyler be at guard and not try and flip-flop him out. And now we're going with we're just going to sit you out on the island and see what you can do. I think right now he should be being coached up, 24/7 coached up, because the guys that's going to be coming at him are going to be the cream of the crop in the NFL. He's not going to have the benefit of taking a week off. Mm-mm. When you get done with this, guess what? They got another dog coming in. And then next, they got another one coming. I mean, these are the guys that are being paid the most in the NFL to hunt and get after the quarterback. Mm-hmm. So, look, if Jason Peters can still do it at a high level, I believe that this coaching staff is going to be trying to get him ramped up as fast as possible to get him out there on that island so that he could save Dak some of that torture that he may be getting from having that rookie out there. But if that rookie comes in and plays that good, I think you got to leave him in there. You got to allow that growing pain to happen, because he doesn't do anything but get better as time goes on.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because as we've seen in training camp, he didn't get anything out there at the left tackle position.
No.
He didn't get anything. So if you're going to put him in there, and like you said, if he looks like, I'm not saying if he looks like he's all world, but just hold his own. Just a little bit. You got to let the guy go out there and go through these growing pains and develop as a player. I mean, that's what the Cowboys' philosophy is. Let their young guys develop and earn the star.
Come on, Nua. You thinking something. What is it, man? I already see this. It's brewing.
I'm really disappointed because I feel like they've set this young man up to fail.
Wow.
If you've spent any time around Tyler Smith, number one, you know he cares. Number two, they drafted him knowing he was a project, that he's got things he's got to work on. You didn't spend any time. I mean, you went up against the Broncos, Bradley Chubb at practice. He didn't take any reps over there. Then he went against the Chargers, who've got Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. He didn't take any reps out there in practice. You've got Tank Lawrence, you've got Micah Parsons. He didn't take any reps out there at left tackle to go up against these guys. These are three good learning opportunities that they could have exposed him to, and they didn't, because they were trying to make him a left guard. And
he was playing C.
Management had already said, if something happens to Tyron Smith, the rookie's going out there. That's why he drafted him. So if you thought that was the plan and that was what you wanted to do, how come he never went out there?
Why was Josh Ball getting on him? Matt Walesko, why were they getting all the reps out there?
Right. That doesn't make any sense. That is setting someone up to fail. That when all of a sudden he gets beat, gets a couple holding calls, you know how fans are. He no good.
He can't do it. He ain't it.
And it's one of those where no, man. What about the people that hired you? Didn't train you properly. Didn't get you ready to go. This is the NFL. Now we're just like, hey man, hey, go, bro, good luck.
Yeah.
That's what they virtually
Send a care package with him.
Hey man,
brother.
We're gonna show you some tricks.
Yeah.
A couple things right here. And Jason Peters can hey, do this with your hands. Good luck, young fella.
Well, you know exactly what he knows now.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. I mean, if being set up to fail was a person, it'd probably be Tyler Smith. But there's a flip side to that, and that's where you can be cautiously optimistic.
Hope?
Here we go. Cautious. Look, it's not a strategy. Yes, it never will be. And so I understand that, and I get for him. It's like, He's saying all the right things. It's like riding a bike. He's going back home for him. It's a natural position for him. He understands it. But some of the problems that he was having in training camp, and Nate Newton has illustrated this about being lazy with his feet, lazy with his hands. Some of those things from being inside, he can now translate back to being outside. And maybe he's more comfortable out there. And maybe they can get him more help. I think that's where the scheming, what we were talking about earlier, why running the ball is so important. Because what's going to be easiest for him is trying to get to the second level, blocking guys, going in one direction. That's going to be simple. That's going to simplify a game plan that's not going to leave him out on the island.
So here's the question. How are you protecting him? You're going to put Schultz out there next to him? Or you're going to go with Ferguson and Schultz, do some 12 personnel? Then we talked about Pollard being in there. We're going to go 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 back. I mean, what are you doing in this football game to try to help Tyler Smith?
You got to, to me, I mean, I know you're not going to be able to do this every single time, but you got to be able to slide the protection his way to help him out sometimes. Like you mentioned, get some tight ends out there, some running backs to help chip block and help whoever defenders over top of them just to give him some extra time to breathe out there. But the main thing to me is, and we've harped on it in segment 1 and now in segment 2, is you got to be able to let this man get some aggression out, get his confidence up. And the way to do that is to get into that run game. Let him go out there, put his hands on these defensive linemen instead of kick-stepping back and letting them run all their games in front of him and confusing them and all that good stuff, because we know he hasn't had any reps at that during camp. So you got to let that man get his aggression out there. Help him out with some chips. Help him out with that. Get the ball out of your hands quick. Don't have any long 5-step drops back there where, Shaq Barrett got a chance to work his whole arsenal on him. You don't want to have that happen.
So the offensive line, 5 guys who've yet to play a preseason game together, will be out there on NBC Sunday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that is a year removed away from winning a Super Bowl.
I love it.
Let's dive into the defense here. We spent so much time on the offense. The best part of this Dallas Cowboys team is the defense. And a particular player who was all-pro last year, can he do it again? Let's dive into that. That's Hek'ma Harrison, Barry Church. I'm Newey Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus!
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down. Based on GWS 1 score September 2019.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Back to the Players Lounge.
This November, the only thing hotter than the Dallas Cowboys will be the 30,000 pounds of brisket, chicken, pulled pork, and ribs smoking at the Q Barbecue Fest presented by Miller Lite. Coming out to the Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium November 4th through the 6th to taste barbecue from the finest pitmasters. Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com. So you'll see me there.
Just like that.
You gonna be in that thing, huh?
Yes, you'll see me there. You'll see me there. One of the things I love about going to, besides just good food, I always wanted to get tips, because the great thing about barbecue is everybody has a special way they do it. Like, I do a little bit like here, I do that. So.
Whoa, Newell, you all right? Yo, what's this happening?
Cheeseburgers, man.
Got that cue, y'all. I got that cue, y'all.
That boy's
What?
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
What we gonna do, man?
Yes, sir.
What we gonna do, man?
All right, Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. Hek'ma Harrison, brand new to the show. First maiden voyage out here doing his thing. Barry Church.
Yes,
Danny McCray is off. He'll be back here tomorrow. I am Newey Scruggs. So, Tampa Bay Cowboys Week 1 coming up Sunday Night Football, AT&T Stadium. It will be sold out. Going to be 90,000 plus. Tom Brady, the GOAT, comes back undefeated against the Cowboys in his career, but last year was picked off by one Trayvon Diggs on his way to a all-pro year. Church, you raised the question.
Yeah.
Should Diggs travel with Mike Evans, by the way, over the weekend was inducted into the Texas A&M Hall of Fame.
What was bad?
Along with Johnny Manziel.
Oh, with Money Manziel out there. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Those were bad boys.
Yes,
it was
good.
They was cold when it
was good to see him back. But I think people forget, when Johnny was winning the Heisman, Mike was the guy.
He was this
I think he's I really do think Mike is an underrated receiver. You start to look at his statistics and the kind of career he's putting together out there in Tampa Bay.
Almost Hall of Fame worthy, almost.
You know what? He's doing enough to get in the discussion, and that's all you would get enough get in the room, try to get discussed, and see where it goes. But man, he's pretty good. So does Diggs travel with him?
Man, when I first gave y'all this question, I was thinking, man, that's an easy answer for me. But I got to thinking about it, and I looked at training camp, and I said, you know what? Who had one of the best training camps out of all these players in Oxnard? It was number 3. Anthony Brown. That's all we heard of throughout the entirety of the camp. Man, this guy's all over the place. Interception here, pass break up there. This guy is playing phenomenally. But as good as he played in that training camp, I just don't like the matchup between Mike Evans and Anthony Brown. Just the height difference. Mike Evans 6'5", Anthony Brown's 5'10", 5'11", and we know what he struggled with in the past were those 50-50 jump balls.
Right.
He struggled. He will be in position all the way up until right the moment of catching the football, and somebody makes a spectacular catch over top of him. So with that being said, any other receiver out there, I'm comfortable. Anthony Brown, go lock him up. But this particular situation, you got a guy who's as big as he is, as quick as he is, as fast, and as good of a deep threat as Mike Evans is. I kind of want Diggs on him, being that bigger body, being that receiver-type corner who, when the ball's in the air, it's rightfully his as it is the receiver.
It's 51-49.
Exactly. And that's how he was able to get those picks last year. If it's me, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm the defensive coordinator out there, I'm traveling Diggs with him. No disrespect to Anthony Brown. Hell of a camp, hell of a player. I just don't like the matchup.
And look, when you posed the question, I said, you know what, Barry Church, he's starting right off the bat. He laying them breadcrumbs. He want to get into some deep discussion about this. And I really love it. I think the temptation to try and make Trayvon like Jalen Ramsey, we're looking at the replay of the Super Bowl, because of the way that he plays, and they're stylistically so different. But those 11 interceptions said something about him. And his ability to gamble and play within the system. And that's what I like about Trayvon Diggs. Okay. His ability to play within the system. I think with Dan Quinn and looking at historically what he's done for the careers of other cornerbacks, I think that he can be that same type of guy. Now, let's not forget that Trayvon is in a contract year, so to speak. Yeah. And so he wants to, at the end of the year, leverage his playing with everybody else to say, look, I traveled, I did, I'm a legacy guy. You can put me in the same vein as a prime time. But I think things are different in the NFL. You cannot mug guys the way that you used to. But, you also brought up last year about how susceptible he was to the double move. And other people in the NFL caught on to the same thing, and they started taking advantage of that. What I think Trayvon Diggs has to do is be consistent. Just stay consistent. This defense, if they could get pressure on the quarterback, force some bad throws, I think that's where he's at his best. I think that anybody is at their best when the quarterback has to improvise. But Tom Brady ain't going to do that. No. He's not going to be that improvisational. You don't have to worry about him running, but you do have to worry about him picking you apart. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be the short stuff. It's going to be the underneath stuff where he's going to have to try and take advantage of this Dallas Cowboys defense. But again, I just don't want for Trayvon to try and be something that he's not. Play within yourself. Be what you've been. Play one side of the field. And with Anthony Brown being who he is and people talking about him the way that they have, look, if Godwin doesn't play, you got a whole bunch of spares that's going to be out there. So then you can concentrate even more on Evans. You can bracket him. You can
safety over time.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the thing with Trayvon. Now, you can do that later as you get into the season and you say, look, we have a matchup nightmare for the rest of these guys. You travel with him. Mm-hmm. You may not have to do it now.
Okay, so you guys are both former players, so let me ask this question, especially going against somebody like Tom Brady. Do you use both plans? Because if you just stay in the same thing, eventually Tom's going to figure it out. So do you have to come up, hey, maybe we have you travel for a quarter or a half, and then we switch it out here. How do you go about it when you've got someone who's seen everything in Tom Brady?
I think if they start, let's just say they started out where Days wasn't traveling. He stayed on his side, and if things, stayed the way they were and nothing got out of hand crazy, I leave it like that. But I feel like if they're purposefully seeking out Anthony Brown, like if Mike Evans, he's on that side, all right, Mike, you on that side, and they're having some success with it, I think you got to make the switch. I think you got to switch over there. I mean, because I just don't want it to happen to where they're seeking Brown out and all of a sudden you see it's a jump ball contest. We're playing basketball out there and you just see the mismatch out there. So if he's getting worn out, I would put my best corner on him. But that's if he's getting worn out. If he's holding his own, then you can let it be what it is.
And that's what they did last season. Yeah. I mean, they went AB on AB. And that made the difference in the game. But I go back to something that Dan Quinn talked about, this defense being aggressive and playing together. That's what's going to give them success. Tom Brady hadn't seen anything the defense is going to offer him. You can't trick him. There's nothing that you can do to him. And if you try, you'll be doing that to your own demise. Like Dan Quinn said, we can't be too cute. Mm-hmm. We can't start doing things that get guys out of position. And so, look, like most defenses, we had a base. We play it. We know it. Blood to bone. We're going to come after you with this. If they could stay within that and say, look, Mike could come up the middle, Michael on the edge, Tank on the edge. If we can do our own twists and stunts up front, I think that's where the ball game is going to be won in the trenches because the back half is going to take care of itself.
Speaking of tricking,
Jerry
Jones
ain't tricking it again.
Spoke on 105 The Fan today with some math, and he said, in his mind, 1 + 1 must equal 3.
Yeah.
So Jerry with the little trick of math out there. So, I've said it before, guys, and I'll say it again. I've been saying this for a long time. I want my owner to be optimistic. I want my owner to look over there and say, you know what, that glass is half full. The water is alkaline, it's tasty, and boy, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
I need my general manager to look at that same glass and say, you know what, I don't know how that water look like. It might be a little stale. I think the glass is cracked, and we need to think about changing the water out and filling it back up again. When you hold both roles, it's tough. You don't have any balance. Jerry's the ultimate optimist. And Jerry talks about, in my mind, 1 + 1 needs to equal 3. How's that worked the last 26 years?
It hasn't.
It's tough. It is tough because you have the same guy who is the optimist not being the same guy that needs to be the jump. Look, this is why he and Jimmy worked so well together when they built this thing. They were that. That's what I want Jerry to be, that guy. But I need to have somebody over here. The yin and the yang need to be there. It's kind of hard when you got the same dude who's fall in love with players. It's a challenge, man. It is a challenge. And so when he said that 1 + 1 = 3, I'm like, oh, Jerry.
Here we go.
Jerry. But did you expect anything different though? And I don't think you do. When you start trying to translate Jerry, at the end of the day, that's his role. That's what he's going to do. And at the end of it, man, he's going to go down as one of the greatest businessmen of our time.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Yes.
Absolutely.
But don't you see the issue of it, though?
What issue? Of being optimistic? Because the reality sets in. Even on the most optimistic person, you end up coming back.
You can't serve two masters, and that's the thing. He's the owner and the general manager, so you're wearing two hats.
Yeah.
And because you can't serve two masters, the owner takes over. And
no, I get
the
it.
owner is so optimistic all the time. And look, there have been some contracts given to some guys where Jerry loves the player. Whereas that Belichick type of GM or Parcells would have said, hey, man, gotta go. And I think that has been an issue many times.
Going on, huh?
That's the fight. And that's the fight because it's hard to do both.
Right.
It is hard to do both. Mm-hmm. That's why there's and maybe that's Steven, but the guy who hey man, hey.
Well, we've seen a little bit less of that over the years as far as the contracts are concerned. They've been a little late on contracts as pertaining to being early on contracts, and so they're not. Yeah, absolutely. The dry powder conversation.
They lost on Tank. They lost on Dak. Yeah. I don't know how in the world they decided to trade for Amari Cooper, not have a contract for him. So you're correct on that.
But I also think that when Jerry sometimes speaks like he's at a business conference, when you're trying to rally the troops and get everybody together, hey, give me a trust fall from the top, and those are the things that he does to try and get this fan base ready to go for the season. The truth is, it's all going to play out anyway, regardless to what he says. This is a talented roster. You go through this roster, you go through all 31 other teams in the NFL, and you can match this roster up talent-wise, especially on the defense. You look at CD, you look at what you still have. The one guy you still have on your offensive line, your running back. Okay, I mean, there's still something there for you to try and build around, Newey. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And it's not as worse off as you look around the NFL at some other teams. And that's why we're sitting here talking about what are the Dallas Cowboys' chances going into this game versus Tampa. I don't think anybody feels like the Cowboys are just going to be served up to the Buccaneers, or going to be served up to Cincinnati, not like in years past.
Gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it here. This is
we're going to save,
right? We're going to say the next edition. We will dive deeper into
I see what you're doing to me, man. All right.
We're going to dive deeper into this.
Get the juices. Get the people what they want.
Hope.
It's not a strategy.
Hek'ma Hope.
No. Don't get me right there. No.
Very church. Not merely do we scrub. We'll do this again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. Tell your friends about it. Like the show. Tweet it out there. Appreciate it. I'm back at 3 o'clock. We got Media Mash today. So we'll bring up some of the finest folks who cover the team and keep more of these great Cowboy takes in as we get you ready for Cowboys Buccaneers Sunday night, NBC 5 Sunday Night Football. Can't wait. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock, everybody.
Later.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!